In the last class, we discussed about the detailed syllabus of water engineering, the basic concept of water engineering, and we discussed about what you will get after studying this subject, what you will learn from this subject, and how you will apply in the field. These things we discussed in the first class. So today we'll discuss about this first module, that is your precipitation, its measurement and analysis. It's for the first chapter, that is hydrologic cycle, we will discuss. This is the content of the model 1, hydrologic cycle, catchment area, watershed, rainfall and its characteristics, rain gauge, recurring type, average rainfall over catchment, evapotranspiration, pan coefficient, infiltration indices, W index and phi index, that will discuss in this model. The first chapter, that is a hydraulic cycle. What is hydrology first? The hydrology, hydro means water, logi means logos, that is study, the study of water. Here it's not only the water, it is the occurrence of water, means precipitation, especially the precipitation, how it occurs, how the movement occur, how the distribution occur, and the management of the water. The distribution means some part of the water joins to the ground table, just some part of the water flows on the surface that join the stream, some part evaporate. So this is about the distribution. Then precipitation occur, and how they move of the water, how they move in the stream, means at the discharge at different points that will be measured, how the measurement is done, how it moves, how cloud wave moves, that will be discussed here. The overall management of water is discussed, that is management of water of the earth and earth's atmosphere. So this hydrology deals with water storage in surface and subsurface water bodies. Surface means that is lake, river, pond, river, all the surface water. Subsurface means groundwater, and it deals with the precipitation, both rainfall and snowfall. The hydrology, the term, it is the application of meteorology, geology, statistics, chemistry, physics, fluid mechanics. Meteorology, that is precipitation, temperature, humidity, that will be applied here in hydrology. Geology, the soil characteristics, statistical behavior of the both meteorological data and the rainfall, that is used in hydrology. The chemistry behind the precipitation, that will be used. Physics of how the flood wave moves in the river, that will be discussed. Fluid mechanics. So this is the combination, hydrology is the combination of all these things. Next is the hydrogeology. What is hydrogeology? That is subsurface hydrology, means groundwater hydrology. Study of occurrence, same, that movement, distribution and management of water below the earth's surface. Coming to this hydrologic cycle, it is a cyclic process. First there will be evaporation. That evaporation causes the clouds, and condensation occur, means after cooling, that clouds make the precipitation, and the precipitation can be at as rainfall or snowfall, and that will be, some part will flow on the surface, some part will infiltrate into the ground, some part will evaporate. Evaporation occur from this ocean water body, from the vegetation, means from the leaves, from the branches of vegetation, and the part of water which joins the groundwater, that is the infiltration, the movement of water towards the ground surface, into the ground surface, and the infiltration also different kinds. Means one is seepage, one is percolation. Percolation means the vertical movement of this water due to the pores of the soil, that is the percolation. And in other direction, if there is movement in all other direction, horizontal direction, lateral direction, due to the pores, then that is called seepage. Whatever be the infiltrated water at last joins the groundwater after the soil above the groundwater is saturated. After all the pores are filled with, then the excess water moves again deeply, that joined in the groundwater level. In the groundwater level also there is rock layer, that is called confined aquifer. In this rock layer, if there is broken rock layer, then that also some water percolating into this rock layer, that is called deep percolation. So first of all, how this is a circular motion. After evaporation, again cloud formation, how it occurs? Just I'm giving one example. Here I'm giving one example. All of you might have boiled water, boiled in a pot. Let this a pot, and you have boiled water here, and heat you have supplied. You have supplied heat. You have boiled water. What will happen? This is the water level. If you boil, then the water particle will evaporate as vapor or gas. As vapor, what is vapor? Vapor means it is the gaseous state of what? Liquid. Gaseous state of water. So this water evaporate. Okay. After how evaporation occur? The molecules here at this point, at the surface, okay, they'll try to escape from the surface. Why? Because kinetic energy increases. If you supply heat energy here, the kinetic energy here increases. The kinetic energy increases, the random motion of these molecules increases, the cohesion of the molecule decreases, the cohesive property, the cohesive bond between the molecules decreases, and the molecules will try to escape from the surface. That is called evaporation. After some time, you stop cooling. After some time, you stop cooling and you just cover it. You just cover with a lid. You just cover it with a lid and you stop heating. Try to make it cool. So what will happen? The water molecules, you will find they group together, they combine together, water molecules, and they will form water drops here. So if you open the lid after cooling, you will find water drops here, because the combination of the water molecules here, that is called condensation. This is called condensation. So this dropping of these water molecules, dropping of these water drops, falling of these water drops is called precipitation. This is a typical example of condensation, evaporation, condensation, then precipitation. So these are the processes involved in this hydrologic cycle, that is interception, evaporation, transpiration, surface runoff, infiltration, deep percolation. What is interception? Interception means initially when precipitation occurs, the dry leaves of the vegetation absorb some water. Dry leaves and branches of the vegetation absorb some amount of water, which is negligible compared to the whole precipitation year-wise or in a monsoon period. If you say, then it is negligible. Evaporation, that we discussed, the escape of water molecules from the surface when temperature increases. Transpiration, transpiration is the water required by the vegetation for its photosynthesis. Surface runoff. What is surface runoff? Surface runoff is the water which flows on the surface and at last join the stream, main stream. flows on the surface here. That is called surface runoff. After interception, some part will infiltrate inside and some part moves on the surface. That join, at last it join the water body, either river or ocean or any pond or lake, that joint. Next is infiltration. That we discussed that infiltration is the movement of water towards the into the ground surface. Deep percolation that we discussed, that is the from groundwater. Again, if there is any broken layer of rock, then water will again percolate into the this rock layer, that is the aquifer layer. That is called deep percolation. This is about the schematic flow chart of hydrologic cycle. Here you can see the precipitation here, and after precipitation some part will overflow, will flow on the surface, that join to the stream flow, that is called runoff, or that is surface runoff. Part of the precipitation join the infiltration here, and from this infiltration some part just after rainfall joins again. After it infiltrate, after some distance, not at the same distance but at some distance after rainfall, just ready after the rainfall, it joins the mainstream. Even it infiltrate into the ground, okay, at some distance just after rainfall, it joins the mainstream, that is called interflow. And some flow that's joined year after year, that's called base flow. It joined the stream, mainstream. Means that infiltrated water, or that is groundwater, okay, after years of year, it joined the mainstream, that is called base flow. The stream which has base flow contribution is called perennial river. Like here Mahanadi, Brahmani, Odisha rivers, Ganga rivers, all are perennial rivers because there is huge base flow contribution. Even if there is no rainfall, there is base flow is there. During monsoon period, okay, there is a rainfall, but during non-monsoon period, there is no rainfall, but there will be water in the river. That is called perennial river. That is due to this base flow contribution, means contribution of groundwater towards groundwater to the stream, mainstream. And after interflow and base flow, the remaining water joins the ground flow state at groundwater. Okay, and transpiration, evaporation occur from the lake, from the stream, even from soil. Okay, means from infiltrated water, some part will go evaporation. From groundwater also some part will go as evaporation. From stream some part of evaporation, and from vegetation it is transpiration. Transpiration is the that I discussed, that is due to photosynthesis, the water required by the vegetation for its photosynthesis process. So in case of vegetation, there will be evaporation from the leaves and the transpiration. So combined it is called evapotranspiration. In case of vegetation, it is called evapotranspiration. And in case of lake or open barren land, it is called only evaporation. So this is a process interception, that the process involved part of the precipitation that we discussed, that is which is absorbed by the dry leaves and branches of vegetation before reaching the ground surface. Next is evaporation. Evaporation that already we discussed already. I told that here there is water molecules here inside the here these two molecules inside the water. There is one molecule at the surface. Okay, due to cohesive force between the water molecules, there will be equal interaction. There will be equal attraction from all sides. So this molecule and this molecule are in equilibrium, in balance condition. But here, if the water molecule at the surface, then it is attracted only half portion, not this portion, because there is no water molecule in this side. So it is attracted towards the water molecule due to cohesive force, only this half portion. then what will happen? So this molecule is not stable, always it remains unstable. So there is a tension here. There is a tension in the lower half. This tensile force at the surface of water molecule is called surface tension. Surface tension. So this surface tension occurs due to cohesive force between the water molecules. However, if you increase the temperature, if you give the heat, then its kinetic energy of water molecules increases, its cohesiveness decreases. So there will be random motion of the water molecules. Random motion of the water molecules. Okay. So what will happen at the surface? Due to this surface tension, the water molecules will get fully freedom, fully kinetic energy, full motion it will get. So it will try to escape from the surface. It will try to escape from the surface. This escape of molecules as gases in a gas form, or that is called vapor. Vapor form is called, this is called evaporation. There is escape of water molecules from water surface as vapor of gas to the earth's atmosphere due to high temperature. Transpiration, that is due to photosynthesis. Water required by vegetation for photosynthesis. Surface runoff, precipitation of water which flows on the surface to join the stream. Infiltration. Infiltration means absorbance of water by porous soil below the ground surface due to gravity and capillarity. When due to gravity water flows, and due to capillarity of soil and water, it absorbs. Next, deep percolation that we discussed, that is infiltrated water moves towards hard rock layer and joins groundwater table due to gravity. It joins groundwater table, and also below groundwater table it joins to the if there is fractured rock. Okay, from groundwater table water flows below the groundwater also. Means there is confined aquifer also. That is called deep percolation. Next, come to this catchment area, drainage area, watershed area. The area of land which contribute water to a stream when precipitation occurs. The catchment area can be of whole river or can be a tributary of the river. Let this is the river. This is the river. Okay. These are the tributaries. Tributaries means the river which contribute water to the main river, main stream. Okay. Tributaries means the streams, the small streams which contribute water to the main stream. These are the contributory. You can say contributory, or it is called tributary. Opposite of tributary is distributary. Okay, distributary means there is another branch of river. Okay, here there is another branch here, means water flows in this direction. Means a distributor means the main water, the water which is distributed to the stream which takes water from the main river. The stream which takes water from the main river is called distributary. These are called distributary. Okay. Distributary. And what is catchment area and drainage area that we are discussing, or watershed area? All these three terms are same: drainage area, watershed area, or catchment area. When rainfall occur, the area of land which contribute water to a stream when rainfall occur. If rainfall occur here, that water will come to this stream. If rainfall occur here, the water will come to this stream. But if rainfall occur here, water will not join here, will not come to this stream. It will come to another stream. There might be another basin or another drainage area, another watershed. Okay. There will be, so if rainfall occur here, the water will join here. So this area is called catchment area of this river or watershed area of this river. What is basin? The catchment area of the whole river is called basin. Means total whole river, the whole catchment area is called basin. And the catchment area, drainage area, watershed, you can say small river, okay, small. Let this is the small stream, okay. This area, let this area contribute water to this stream, So you can say this catchment or sub-catchment of this river or catchment of this river. So this is one outlet here. For this, okay, this is the outlet. Okay, if rainfall occur here, it will come to this river. So it is the sub-catchment of this whole river or this catchment of this river. Okay, so you can say catchment or watershed or drainage area of this river. If you combine whole catchment area of a river, the main river, whole catchment area, that is called basin. There is basin Mahanadi basin, Brahmani basin, there is Baitarani basin, there is Ganga basin, Brahmaputra basin. The whole catchment area is called basin. For small area, for small streams, okay, we cannot say from small tributaries, we cannot say it is a basin. It is not a basin. It is a catchment or a watershed of this. So about this ridge line, what is this line? The line which divides the two catchment or watershed or basin. The line which divides, this line divides the two basin, two catchment. That is called ridge line. This is the ridge line. Let there is here this is the watershed of this tributary and this is the watershed of this tributary. So here this line, okay, let this is the so this line is the ridge line between this watershed and this watershed. Means this is the ridge line. If rainfall occur here in the left side of this line, then rainfall will go to into this river. If rainfall occur in the right of this, then rainfall water will go into this river. So this divides the two basin, that is called ridge line. There is Mahanadi river. This is the Brahmani river. This is the Baitarani river. All three falls in the Bay of Bengal. So this is the ridge line between these two basins. This is the ridge line between the two basins. Next is water budget equation. Water budget equation, total precipitation. This is the total precipitation. This is the surface runoff minus surface runoff minus your groundwater. This is the evaporation. This is the transpiration. Total is net storage. This storage, it can be summation of surface water storage, means like pond, lake, river. Surface moisture storage, soil moisture storage, soil gains some moisture, that is, and groundwater storage. So it is the water balance mixture, means it obeys the conservation of mass. Total precipitation is summation of your change in storage in the surface, all storage, summation, runoff, evaporation, transpiration, everything. So runoff means surface runoff will be obtained if we deduct the loss, all the losses from precipitation. All the losses means that is infiltration loss, evaporation loss, transpiration loss, and also that is interception loss. So these are the some silent features of water. Okay, what is the status of water in the earth? The ocean area is 71% of the total earth area. 96.5% of water in ocean, which is saline. Only 3.5% is your fresh water. But this that 3.5% is 35 million, 35 35 million cubic meter of water on surface, fresh water in surface. 24.5 million kilometer cube is frozen state. That means 30% of the total fresh water is available in liquid form. See, out of this 3%, 5% means 30% is available in liquid form, 70% is available in glacier form. So only that 30% of this fresh water, that is 10.6 million cubic meter in fresh liquid state. So 30% of 3.5% available in liquid state, that is fresh. Another point here, 9% of more water evaporation in ocean than water falls back on them as precipitation. Evaporation is more than precipitation, it come back to this due to losses was the infiltration loss, the runoff, storage. So it come back to this ocean. Okay. So this is the water balance. Africa precipitation runoff 20% runoff. In Asia 40% runoff. In Australia 30% runoff. Europe 43%. North America 34%, and South America 35%. Runoff percentage means the percentage of water flows on the surface out of this total precipitation. Out of this total precipitation, it is calculated. More vegetation area, the more runoff. Runoff will be more vegetation area, runoff will be less. More built up area, runoff will be more. In North America, Europe, the developed area, that is in built up area is more. So runoff will be more. This is about this ocean, different ocean, Atlantic, Arctic, Indian, Pacific, different area, precipitation, evaporation. Evaporation here, Atlantic, Arctic, Indian, Pacific, we see in Indian Ocean it is high. So more evaporation, and there will be more cloud formation. So more that is low pressure, cyclonic storm, everything happening due to this because of more evaporation. Annual average discharge. The Amazon is the largest river in the world, at 2 lakh meter cube per second. In India's largest Brahmaputra, that is 16,200 meter cube per second. That is the annual average discharge. 2 lakh, here it is 16,200 only. And India's second largest Ganga river, that is 15,600 meter cube per second. These are the whole data sources. Hydrometeorological, not meteorological, it is meteorological IMD data, head office at Pune. Means precipitation, rainfall, there is rainfall, temperature, humidity, all data can be obtained from this site. It is available in graded form, it is also available in daily form, daily data available, hourly data available. Stream flow discharge, that is the discharge data, state discharge data available from Central Water Commission, New Delhi office. Main office in New Delhi, but it is branch office in every state capital. And state irrigation department also measures stage discharge data. Groundwater data can be obtained from Central Groundwater Board. So all this data required actually for the analysis, okay, for delineation of this river and for the basin, and to estimate the runoff from the precipitation. All this data required. Soil data, this discharge data, stage discharge, temperature, meteorological data, the groundwater data, physical features, the slope, the contour map, everything that will be obtained. The area topographical map can be obtained from Survey of India. Geological characteristics, that is the soil data, soil characteristics can be obtained from Geological Survey of India. Soil map, detail of soil map, soil layers, that can be obtained from National Bureau of Soil Survey and Land Use Planning. Land is land cover. That means the land is covered with forest or crop, or where it's barren land or built up area, that can be obtained from remote sensing satellite. And that remote sensing satellite is obtained from National Remote Sensing Agency NHA Hyderabad. That is from Indian point of view. But if you see overall whole world, then it is available. USGS data is there, satellite data is there. Okay, like Maurice or Landsat data, if you want, then it can be obtained from USGS website freely. Some data is available freely, some data is for some data you have to pay. But it depends upon the satellite, which data and where it is available. It's not only in one website, it is available. All the satellites, different satellites are there. Next, water quality data. Water quality, if you want to analysis, then water quality is available by the SPCB, State Pollution Control Board. They are responsible to measure the water quality at daily scale basis, monthly scale basis now, monthly scale basis. Central Pollution Control Board is there. They measure on quarterly basis now. Central Water Commission, they measure quarterly basis. But CPCB or SPCB, they are actually one. SPCB is under the CPCB. SPCB is part of CPCB. Okay, they measure at monthly scale. Central Water Commission, they measure at the quarterly scale. So these are the all data required if you want to analyze the flood, you want to estimate the runoff. Okay, this much. Thank you.